Bastian Crow's 3 guillotines had nearly erased Leon Carte's skeleton legion. Fewer than 20,000 skeletons remained. Bastian Crow woke from meditation, said he could still continue, and asked to visit Sanctum Civilization. After the grand tournament, Cedric Valhart agreed. Leon raised every corpse he could into a skeleton soldier, and tried to raise the broken bones too. Almost none answered. Bastian Crow's judgment had not faded. Leon's force had fallen from nearly 2 million skeletons to under 20,000, and his support streams were gone. Daphne Morwen said that if another strong enemy came, they would die. Leon told her the survivors were elites, and that his skeleton legion could regrow through battle. The next enemies were weaker. Leon's skeletons crushed them, took their spoils, and bought him time to keep copying Bastian Crow's guillotines with ruined divinity. After 28 days, Leon finally grasped one blade. It was black. Its handle was a skull. He named it the Dreadskull Guillotine. Once it appeared, every enemy troop faced a ruined judgment. At his current level, 1% would die. With 15 minutes left, Leon looked at his skeleton legion, now back to 12 million. Then a scouting skeleton soldier warned him. Another enemy had arrived with 7 formations. The enemy was Roderick Stormbrand, of the Ashen Crown dynasty, the Stormfire general. Leon remembered the name from the Marauder King. Leon said he would send him to meet that informanty. The Dreadskull guillotine rose above his head. Roderick Stormbrand lifted the saffron storm spear and gathered thunder to break it. Before he could strike, a skeleton appeared above him. Bone claws pierced through his head. He died on the spot. His formations collapsed. Leon ordered the Bone Colossus giants to kill them fast, then stripped Roderick Stormbrand's treasures and stored them. When the trial space released them, Leon and Daphne returned to their haven shelters. Daphne went back to sleep. Leon ordered his skeletons to keep exploring. New Forgecraft, Red Furnace Dwarf, were already standing inside. Only 6 classmates were left. Marcus told him the large academy groups had opened. Leon saw customers. He started selling his ruins trial ticket. Other sellers undercut him. Leon cut lower. The tickets no longer mattered. The corpses did. Buyers entered his trial ruins, deed, and left bodies for Leon to turn into skeletons and labor. For 3 days resources poured in. His haven shelter rose 1 level per day, until it became a level 10 citadel city, and could recruit 10,000 Hearthfolk residents. Tobin Ashwell, the first resident, had fled a harsh homeland, feared the skeletons, and still stayed, because there was no oppression here. Level 11 now needed public support. On the 3rd day after becoming Castellan, Tobin Ashwell also offered Leon a black stone from the shelter's edge. Leon recognized it as night-forged black iron, but his current forgecraft, Red Furnace Dwarves, were too weak to forge it. As Leon's skeletons multiplied, every corner of the pocket frontier was explored. The other survivors there chose to submit, and Leon became the uncrowned king of the pocket frontier. Then he chose the Warlands continent. The nearest nation was the Ashen Crown dynasty. Leon still had Roderick Stormbrand's War Marshal's seal, so he could enter alone. His skeleton legion could not. The moment it showed up near the border, the siege thunder cannons on the rampart wall would fire. Clara Shaw and the others needed more troop types to grow stronger. During the Second Great Calamity, Clara combined Warbreed formulas into the Thunder Wrath Light Rider and the Doom Thunder Heavy Rider, then completed the 9 streams of Warcraft. Thunderclouds gathered above Clara's shelter. Leon and the others rushed over, but Clara stopped them. She had to pass the lightning tribulation herself. Thunder roared. All 9 troop types fused into her body, and her combat power rose past Leon's. After seeing that, Leon completed the 9 streams of Warcraft too. He chose the Laurel Vine Chirurgeon, the Ironwall Cataphracт, the Frostdriver Ironsteed, and the Leviathan Tide Rider. The moment Leon finished, thunderclouds gathered above his citadel city. Clara's clouds had covered about 100 miles. Leon's kept spreading. until they covered 10,000 miles. Clara, Marcus, and Daphne waited below, with healing troops. Above the city, 9 troop phantoms formed around Leon. The first tribulation hit. After the Gloombolt Shadow Locust entered his body, Leon turned into a Shadow Locust, and still got blasted back into human form. The second hit, after he chose the Provision Trent, and tore that form apart too. The third came, after he chose the Laurelvine Chirurgeons, formed divine needles, and forced life back through his body. That strike burned most of it away, but enough remained to restore him. Leon kept choosing forms, and enduring strikes. At the 8th tribulation, Leon had only 2 forms left, the Short-Blade Skeleton, and the Leviathan Tide Rider. He chose the Leviathan Tide Rider. His body swelled into a giant whale. The 8th tribulation smashed through the surging tide power, and struck the whale directly. Leon endured it. Then the 10,000-mile thundercloud collapsed inward, and condensed into a dense cloud, only 10 miles wide. The 9th tribulation would be stronger than the first 8 combined. Leon fused with the Short-Blade Skeleton. He became a crystal skeleton giant, 100 meters tall, the highest form born from the Crystal Skeleton King and the Sovereign Bone Overlord. At that exact moment, the Black Dreadskull Guillotine appeared above him again. The 9th tribulation struck the Dreadskull Guillotine directly. Ruin power and thunder power collided inside it. Then the guillotine absorbed the lightning. Leon's understanding of Ruin divinity surged. From then on, it would destroy 10% of any enemy army larger than 10,000 troops. The remaining 90% would suffer lightning paralysis. Then the cloud vanished. Leon returned to human form, and stared at the guillotine above him. His Ruin divinity had reached minor completion. The moment he landed, support skills restored his injuries. Leon told the others he had succeeded. After that, Leon practiced the 9-fold war form outside his Citadel city. He reworked Shadowspike Relic into Shadow Needle. Precise hits could cause paralysis, blindness, deafness, or energy disorder. The moment Leon completed the insight, many of his Gloombolt Shadow Locusts mastered Shadow Needle too. Clara sent him a message. They had found a ruin at the edge of the Pocket Frontier, and could not clear it. Leon agreed to help. When Leon arrived, Clara Shaw, Marcus Daphne Morwen, Ren Hollowmere, and Lucan Rivenshade were waiting there. It was the Deepwater Froglin Ruins. The trial ground was a hollow of broken faith, with stone on one side and a deep water basin on the other. The ceiling rose only 15 meters. The Deepwater Froglin kept diving into the water. Whenever the fight turned against them, none of the 5 had water battle troops. Leon heard that, and became interested at once. In water, the Leviathan Tide Rider was his strongest form. It was the perfect match. Leon stepped into the Deepwater Froglin ruins. After the teleportation, he arrived inside the cave. Stone ground spread to one side. The gloom deep pool filled the other. Glowstone lit the place. A voice told him there were 6 layers. All 6 gave the Deepwater Froglin inheritance, and each attempt cost 5,000 units of food. Leon accepted. He placed 5,000 units of food on the stone floor. The food sank and vanished. Bubbles rose from the pool. Leon sent skeleton soldiers in first. They had only reached the edge when they suddenly toppled over one by one and vanished under the water. Leon walked closer to look down. A long tongue shot out of the pool and wrapped around his neck. Leon could have broken it with ease, but he wanted to see what the Deepwater Froglin could do. So he let himself be dragged underwater. Water Froglin closed in with barbed tridents. Leon activated the 9-fold warform and turned into the Iron Wall Cataphract. Jagged armor covered him from head to toe. The tridents could not pierce it. The armor was too heavy to float, so Leon sank rapidly. Even the Deepwater Froglin let him drop. After a full minute, Leon reached the bottom. The floor was packed with bones, and bronze command tokens were buried between them. Leon pushed the bones aside, pulled out one token, and learned at once that it could grant right-bound altar experience. There were too many bones to search alone. If Leon wanted every token at the bottom, he had to take the entire ruin. He stopped holding back and changed into the Leviathan Tide Rider. The giant whale body filled the pool and sent water surging upward. Countless deep-water froglin were thrown onto the stone ground. Leon's elites moved at once. Gloombolt Shadow Locust struck first. Shadow Needles hit the frog's shadows and left them sprawled. Skeletons rushed in and finished them. The deep-water froglins still in the water were torn apart by abyssal maelstroms. The first layer was cleared. The second layer began with deep-water froglin warriors. They had water shot, but one abyssal maelstrom still wiped them out. The third layer sent in deep-water froglin brutes. One abyssal maelstrom was no longer enough. Leon had to add Shadow Needle strikes and thunder from the half-drake kin before the brutes finally fell. The fourth layer sent more deep-water froglin brutes and a boss, the deep-water giant toad. Leon rammed the deep-water giant toad onto the shore. The bone colossus giants pinned it down and peeled it alive. The brutes saw that, fled back into the water, and were met by another abyssal maelstrom and a leviathan rush. Then the fifth layer opened. This time the ruin called out a single boss instead. The deep-water titan toad appeared larger than the deep-water giant toad.